I know that I've heard you tell the story of Stay in Reality Bites probably dozens of times just myself. So I'm sure you're sick of telling that story. But I do want to ask you, what was life like before
You know,
that?
that's a really great question that goes along with how Stay happened, because a lot of people think, oh, you know, if they know me and they know the song Stay from 1994, being on the radio, number one hit, it was so exciting. But you know, some people think, oh, you just fell from the sky with this song. But I had actually been playing music ever since I was a little kid. I started writing when I was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 when I was starting on piano. Our teachers would encourage us to write music, and it was something I loved. And as I grew older, I started writing lyrics to songs when I switched more to guitar as my main instrument when I was a young teenager. And I performed in high school and wrote songs. And then I went to Brown University, which was really where I really felt what I was doing was embraced. I will say in high school, I did go to an acting school in London with a bunch of people who are now still, a lot of them in performance or producers on Broadway and things like that. We were all very serious about what we were doing our whole lives. But I had just started really writing a bunch of songs, and I would play them in my dorm room. I had a little tiny dorm room in England, and different people would come in and listen to the music, different new friends, and I felt like this. I felt like they liked them and they wanted to hear these songs, and they asked me if I could make cassette tapes with my music on them, and having the creative satisfaction of having written a song, but then having that mirror, having that audience member who wanted to hear the song and listen to it more, gave me such great support. And when I went to Brown University, it continued. I had a roommate in college named Elizabeth Mitchell, who's a well-known children's artist now. But she and I had a band from the very beginning for like 6 years. And so I brought all of my songwriting experience. She was more of the lead singer, but we did this for years and years and years. And finally, a couple years after college, probably about 3 years after college, Liz and I had split, gone our separate ways as far as, you know, being in a band together. But Stay was one of the songs that I used to play in my set, either with my band, Nine Stories, or by myself. And people did request that song a lot. And Ethan Hawke, who I was friendly with in New York City after I graduated from Brown, I met Ethan through another actor named Josh Hamilton. They had all been in this movie called Alive with a whole large group of guys and a bunch of other guys from Dead Poets Society, which was Ethan's other big movie at the time. And so I had all these friends who were actors, and Ethan had a theater company, and I used to write music for his plays that had people like Callista Flockhart and, you know, Pete Dinklage, and all these people were in the play. So we were all these like early people in our early 20s really trying to do our thing. And that song Stay, Ethan asked if he could put it in the movie, you know, if he could give it to Ben Stiller. And there's a lot of different moving parts, but in the end, the song went into the movie, and the radio station started playing the song on the radio, and it went to #1 while I was still an independent artist.
And it's a fantastic song. It's one of the songs, I mean, I've listened to the radio my whole life, and I heard Stay all the time when it was on, and then I got the CD, and now I still listen to it. I've never gotten sick of that song, ever.
Oh, thank you.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Thank you. I've always, when I first started out in New York City after college, I worked a lot with Juan Patino, who now, he's a producer, but now he's a photographer. I have my album here. He even did the cover on my latest album. We do a lot of he shoots me for a lot of my projects, but he and I both had this sort of obsession with timeless music and music that we loved, like Steely Dan and Fleetwood Mac and all kinds of music, and just things that, you know, the Eagles. And when you hear about how those bands made records, it was sort of like what we were doing. We're just so much attention to detail and letting the songs be. But it's exciting to hear that from you, you know, over 25 years later, that the song, I feel like it really tells a lot of our stories. It's a classic story, but people keep going through that same situation. And, you know, I'm glad that you hear that kind of timeless quality in it.